Off camera, I've done a little something here. I was bored while watching a movie, and I was just seeing how this would fit. And I believe Alejandro, he posted something on my comments on the channel saying about a fit problem here between the wing roots and the fuselage. And I believe that's what a lot of people are complaining about in some of the forums around the community. So I've actually had first time to see how it works. It's if you're not careful, you won't be able to get the fit right. So what I ended up doing is these parts here is what is pushing the wing root up off of its perch. So I ended up clipping and sanding it down a bit just to get as close enough as I can to get it to fit at least closely right. I got it almost pretty well done, I think. We'll go ahead and fix the rest with the other stuff, but it didn't take me long to do. So let's go ahead and put this together. And what happens here is that this part here will fit into this area here. So it should fit right in, but I might have shaved off more than I can chew, basically. So let's go ahead and stick that in there. Hopefully it'll grab it. Did alright. And I also put the rubber band back on just to hold this together, because remember I did not glue the bottom yet, just to get the wing roots in place first, so I have a lot of latitude to play with. Okay, so this looks like it's a good fit there, so go ahead and get some glue in there. And we'll go ahead and glue that part first and let it settle in. Make sure it's in the right place. Okay, good. Now getting the really tricky parts here is to glue this panel into the fuselage. Now there is nothing that actually hooks it in place or anything like that. So it moves around, it slides around, so you gotta be very careful here. So we'll go ahead and that's the other reason why I rubber band this here, to hold the fuselage here together, because the glue is going to fall right into that crevice there. So we'll go ahead and glue this part here. Okay, I'll let it burn in there for a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and match it up. Okay, there we go. Now just hold it in place for a little bit. We're going to take it. It's going to have to take a little patience here. We're going to go ahead and glue this side area here, and we're going to hold it together, all the while being careful that everything's lined up, because this part moves a lot really easily. Now that's drying up. Got pretty dry there. We're going to go ahead and glue the front end here. Okay, while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead, before it gets too dry, I'm going to go ahead and put a rubber band here just to hold the roots up against the fuselage. This should hold the fuselage up, I'm hoping anyways, while it's drying. Okay, I took off the back rubber band here just so I could see how it was gluing in here. So all this part here is dried, but it's still drying, so I'm going to leave it alone. Fixed up the rubber band a little to give it a little more pull against the wing roots here. Now all I have to do is just glue the gaps here and get those connected. So I will go ahead and do that now. And I'm going to have to hold on to it for a bit, because even the rubber bands are doing its job. Only because the fit here is kind of tricky, and this is the first time I ran into a really bad fit on this kit. Okay. As I said, the rubber band won't hold it, so we'll have to hold it itself, push it in a bit, get it connected, and let it dry. Yeah, I walked away from this for more than a day now, just because I had something to do, not because I was letting it dry. It dried way sooner than that. Now, here's the results. the ring roots. Everything here went on okay. Okay, the problem is where the wing root meets the fuselage. It didn't contact enough, so I ended up having, you know, little tiny air hole type of things going on here between the root and the fuselage. So that's no big deal. I ran some Mr. Surfacer's 1000 over it just to double check, and hoping that it would be enough to cover up the holes, but 1000 didn't do it. 500 maybe, but we'll have to go a different route. So there's two ways to do it. Do it with crazy glue, which requires sanding, and I'm a little definitely afraid to sand so close to that area because there's a lot of details there. And third is using Magic Sculpt putty, which I'm gonna have to sand anyway. So let's just go the quick route. Okay, so pull out some CA glue. I'm using Gorilla Glue here. We'll carefully do this, doing it in little small dabs instead of big old clunk of it. Because I want to do as less sanding as I need to on this side of the plane, or on this part of the plane. Always hate working on the joints here. Okay, so instead of using baking someone, just use a kicker in this case here. Just make it fast. I'm gonna blow it. I want to spray it off screen because I don't want to hit anything else. Now, this is cool. I just don't like it because it's just such a waste just to kick one little area. So it'd be better to use baking soda in this case. I'll get Mr. Surfacer out. Okay, so let's go in and zoom through it. Okay, it looks ugly now because it's not sanded out yet, but using Mr. Surfacer helps us take a look to see if there are anything else we need to fill out, which none on this side because we're gonna have to sand that stuff down. And on this side, let's take a look. Might be a spot we're missing here. So on this side, looks like we missed. I'm sorry for the blurriness camera. This side, it looks like we missed. See that little hole right there? Point it out. Right around there. Yeah. See, we missed that spot, so we gotta go back. I think over here too, but from the camera angle, it looks like it's whole. It's not though. Yeah, that looks fine there. So we just have that little bit there to fill up. Now what I'm gonna do first is sand away the paint really quick. Or we're gonna fill in that hole. Now let's fill it back up. Okay, let's do another check with Surfacer. Yeah, it looks good. Made a big bulge there. I'll have to do some sanding though. Oh well. Okay, only because it's bugging the hell out of me. I'm not going to put on the tails yet. I am going to just sand this down, get it down right, because this is bugging the hell out of me. Now, I'm going to go ahead and use a nail file for this for right now. Might have to switch to sandpaper. The other side here. Okay, now that we've got some sanding down, let's go and take a look at how bad it is. Alright, so currently this is how it came out. A couple rough surface right there on the edge there, and that just pisses me off. That's the hard part of trying to get it sanded down. Same thing here. So definitely more sanding, especially in between the models. I'm gonna have to pull out the files Okay, definitely pulling out the big guns here, huh? And okay, I love this file set here. This has a triangle thing going on with it, and that's probably what I will use. Now I have to be careful. These are metal files, and if I'm not careful, it'll eat right through the plastic. Saw right through the plastic. Now this thing is eating through the crazy glue pretty fast, so I'm not gonna go hog wild on this. It's gonna make it look a little ugly. Now let's see if we can clean some of this mess up that the filing caused, because that was some nasty grit action there. Look too bad, I guess, especially when it's all painted, said, and done. Paint will fill in a lot of the little score marks in there. We'll definitely gonna have to primer this, I guess. Sort this stuff out, clean it up. Alright, let's do the check again. Okay, it came up pretty nice. Now it looks like we got a little gap here, down here, that I missed. We'll fill in with crazy glue and sand that down really easily, now that there's only one little tiny thing left. Okay, there are other little things, really tiny air bubbles. I'm gonna just leave alone because the paint will hide that. And on this side, same thing, everything pretty smoothed out. I might give it another really low grit run over. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and put in the tail. Now if I just find the lock, there we go. Simple as that. Let's go ahead and even this out a bit. There you go. Okay. And there you have it, the fuselage assembly with the tails as per the instructions, and now here is where we start to deviate.